Title: Whispers in the Dark. In a small, unremarkable town, where the horizon was framed by dense woods and whispers of the past often danced in the cool breeze, there was a little-known radio station called WRFK. It was run by a reclusive pair of sisters, Clara and Mae, who had inherited the station from their father, an eccentric voice in the area. The two had spent their lives broadcasting an array of shows, but in recent years, the station had become a mystery, its airwaves void of the lively chatter and upbeat music. When 18-year-old Jake heard rumors about the sisters, his curiosity was piqued. He often drove past the station, its weathered signs swaying in the wind, promising voices from beyond. The chilling tales of strange audio transmissions that had once aired piqued his interest. The most captivating of these tales was that of the unaired audio, recordings made by the station that never saw the light of day, tapes filled with eerie sounds, unsettling conversations, and the occasional faint screams. On a dare, Jake resolved to uncover the truth. That night, armed with his flashlight and a second-hand recorder, he made his way to WRFK. The air turned thick with foreboding as the trees whispered around him, the creaking of branches and rustle of leaves both comforting and disquieting. As he reached the entrance, he hesitated, his heart pounding against his ribs, but his curiosity drove him forward. Inside, the station was cloaked in darkness, dust motes swirling like lost souls in the beam of his flashlight. The air was heavy with a musty smell and echoes of the past. The old studio equipment stood silently, waiting for voices that would never come. Jake made his way to the back room, where he hoped to discover the fabled unaired audio. He rummaged through a trove of boxes, each filled with old tapes, their labels faded and unreadable. At last, he stumbled upon a box marked Archive, and his pulse quickened with excitement. Inside were several reel-to-reel tapes, brittle with age, and a dusty audio player. With shaky hands, Jake set up the machinery, the whirring of the reels resonating in the stillness like the heartbeat of a slumbering giant. He pressed play. At first, there was only silence, save for the aging mechanisms groaning to life. Then, a static-laden voice emerged, its tone low and distorted. "They see you," it whispered, the sound curling around Jake like a thick fog. He felt a chill race down his spine, but he leaned in closer, unable to tear himself away. The recording continued, layers of noises wrapping around him, soft laughter, hurried breaths, and the unmistakable sound of scratching, like nails on wood. "Help!" a voice cried out, strangled and distant. Jake's grip tightened on the recorder, eyes wide, his heart thrumming painfully as a faint scratching sound began to echo from somewhere in the room. He turned, glancing back toward the entrance, but the darkness held its secrets close. With every second that passed, whimpered pleas and sinister chuckles seemed to envelop him. The audio was almost hypnotic, pulling him deeper into a void where reality blended with nightmares. "He's coming for you," another voice warned, this one sharp and frantic. Cold sweat beaded on Jake's forehead. Suddenly, the player crackled, and the room turned ice cold. Jake's breath came in shuddering gasps as a new voice broke through the static, his own. The tape had recorded him, speaking words he never uttered. "I should not be here. I shouldn't have come." But how could that be? He had said nothing, only listened. The sound of scratching grew louder. It came from behind him now, a relentless scraping that clawed against the walls, drawing nearer and nearer. Panic surged within him. He ripped the tape from the player, but it continued to echo through his mind, words reverberating against the din of noise. Shadows shifted, swirling around him as sinister shapes emerged. Realization settled like ice in his veins. The audio was like a trap, a portal to something dark and vengeful that the sisters had awakened. They hadn't just recorded sounds, they had captured the essence of something that roamed the woods. The whispers were warnings, but it was far too late for Jake. He barely made it to the door when he felt a hand on his shoulder, cold and unyielding. A silent scream clawed at his throat, but no sound emerged. The air thickened, the shadows looming larger as they engulfed him. One moment of panic, then nothing but darkness. The next day, Clara and Mae found the old equipment dismantled, the room in shambles. Gone was Jake. Left behind was only his recorder, rewound to a single phrase he never uttered: "Don't listen." The sisters, too shocked to comprehend, grabbed the tapes, burying them deep within the thicket beyond their station. And WRFK remained silent, its airwaves echoing their loss, while the voices in the dark continued to whisper, waiting for someone else to listen.